Welcome into the finale of Extreme Radio, presented by GracePointe Healthcare. Go to GracePointeHealthcare.com, request your appointment online. Mention you're with 8-Man Extreme, you get $20 off your new patient office visit fee. GracePointe Healthcare, modern medicine the old-fashioned way. Also sponsored by Dr. Sterling Foster. Go to drsterlingfoster.com for all your digestive issues and chiropractic needs.
I have the man nearby, and Mr. Hank, I don't know. Do you happen to know if there's any Jets pizzas down here? You've been doing this for quite a while. Okay, so we it's confirmed. We'll have to do some Google searching. There's not a Jets Pizza, and that's kind of a crime, okay? Because there's several. The ones in Tennessee specifically that you should go to: Springfield, Fort Campbell, Clarksville, coming soon to Goodlettsville.
Nearest one is in Destin, 44 minutes away.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, nearest one. There needs to be a new one here.
That is ridiculous. Listen, okay, no matter where you are, it's always a great time to say, let's get Jets. No matter what. And it's always a great time. We're doing a lot of travel. Drove all the way from Dayton to Panama City Beach down here yesterday. We've been traveling all day, going to see people, kind of chilling out. You got to have insurance. That's why you need to go check out our buddy Joe Graves with IHateBuyingInsurance.com. See what kind of deal he can give you, no matter what kind of insurance you're looking for. Just see what he can do for you. That's all you got to do. IHateBuyingInsurance.com. Super easy to remember.
What an incredible weekend we've had thus far.
Busy weekend.
It's been busy. Busy. There's a lot of stuff to go over, but it started with the championship, had all the stuff building up to that and trying to get the presentation right for it, and then Sunday had to get our meetings together and get prepared for the All-Star game, going out to Dayton. And Thursday morning, woke up at 6:30. Actually, I woke up at 6 o'clock. Got showered 6:30.
I was up at 4:30 because I had to come to your house.
Yeah, you were going to have to go down that way anyway.
No, I could have gone down and hit 40 and gone out to Cookville and nothing gone down.
Would have been the same distance though, right? Would have been the same time of 2.5 hours, right?
No.
Maybe 20 minutes off the time.
A little bit of time. Shaved a little bit of time off.
But it was a great travel out there. It's a lot shorter than I remember to go up the mountain.
It was quick.
Yeah,
well, if you factor in the lost out, I think because the two of us earlier. But, because we were traveling all morning. So when you travel all morning and you still get somewhere before noon, it seems like it's like that.
Yeah.
But it still happens. It still takes the amount of time to get there. So
yeah, but we got up to the mountain, got everybody checked in, got the film done and such for all of that. And the guys really had a great time at the All-Star game.
They had a great time. Sorry.
Yeah, it was really good. First day, it was pretty, as James says, it's like a headless chicken running around and just trying to get everything taken care of and such.
Get everybody settled in.
Yeah, I think he may have convinced me on the golf cart, actually. I think he may have convinced me that that's a necessity to get through. Either that or some way to quickly transport everything that we need to get transported.
It helped get stuff from one way to the other.
Helped us get all around the place. First day was decent. Obviously, James and I made a friendly wager off air that if any of the players didn't show up at 11 o'clock or earlier to the All-Star game, that he would take my place for the Isaiah bet of jumping in the lake. And obviously, that's on our social media. That got posted.
Now, I did try. When we got there, Tristan Davidson and some of the coaches from Tennessee School for the Deaf were already there.
Yep.
So I was like, maybe there's a chance
that they showed up.
No, they got there at 11:15. So my butt went in that pond, and it was cold. Very cold.
It was cold. It was cold, but it wasn't as bad as you expected it to be, though.
Yeah, it was.
Was it really?
The worst part about it was the
mud?
I picked the worst spot, and so every time I was trying to stand up, my big rear end was sinking into the mud. So I had to go hands and knees and spread out my surface area so I could actually get up to the bank.
Yeah, it was pretty fun to watch. I had to re-explain that to the guys.
Hey, YOLO, though. Put it on your bucket list to slip into a cold pond in the middle of November.
But aside from that, it was really great. Coach Adams and Coach Hollis did a fantastic job leading up to the All-Star game. Some great conversations we had with them in the lodge. And even Hollis mentioned after the game that there were a lot of guys that he competed against, and he really enjoyed getting to know a bunch of them. And that's, of course, what the point of the All-Star game is.
Exactly. Well, and Team Daughter won the coin toss last Sunday, and got the first overall pick.
And they got to call the coin toss.
And they got to call the coin toss. But I think we all knew who the consensus first round pick was going to be.
Josh Austin.
Coach Adams didn't hesitate a minute.
That's in that documentary too.
It was okay. Well, guess what? We're taking Josh Austin. Done.
Oh, yeah.
And he proved why he should have been that way. I pulled up the wrong stats.
Well, no, it was fun. It was funny because right when obviously after the Battle of Franklin, Adam said in the huddle, 56. What grade are you? Senior. Good.
Yeah.
And then, of course, in the draft, he said, we took all of 2 seconds to make this pick. We're taking Josh Austin.
There was no question.
And then Gage Holman was the second pick in the overall pick in the draft as well. So, I mean, both of them just no-brainers.
I mean, and you look at how they did in the All-Star game. I'm trying to shout out to Isaiah Austin.
Not just
for
the
stats.
Not just for the stats, but that the documentary video on the All-Star game,
that was
too.
really
that was
cool.
Awesome.
Go check out NUSA Recruitment on YouTube. The link is in our bio right now on Instagram, and I think we tweeted the link out as well.
Mm-hmm.
Go watch that, about 7 minutes. Great job. Him and a guy named Josh Borders teamed up and directed and filmed the whole thing and edited it. It's fantastic. It's great. And, within USA, Isaiah, J.D. Young's on board with it. So they got a really good thing going. Go check them out. Go check out their website. I think it's nusarecruitment.com. Mm-hmm. They're on Instagram. So go look at them. Kind of, find out what they're about. If you're a senior or a junior or you just want some highlights done, they do different sports. It's a good deal, and they're doing a good thing. So go give them some love.
I forgot to mention it at the top of the show, but we're actually live here this week. Normally we do the show at the GracePointe Healthcare Studios. It feels really weird to be looking directly across from you at this show, because usually we have the conference table at GracePointe Healthcare, and we're just
we don't like looking at each other.
No, of course not. That's why I mostly look at the laptop. But we're live here. Yeah, that's why I'm looking at the laptop. I'm not looking at you. But we're live here at the Laguana Beach Christian Resort. They've got here. I think this is the Promised Land Chapel.
It's Promised Land Chapel.
Yeah, and potential for players from all the teams to come in and.
A lot of them still riding golf carts, go-karts. I know some of them
They're all having fun.
Chapel going on, so
They'll
but we
moved
the show time down. Had some things we wanted to do today, and wanted to fit everything in, so we moved it down. But we talk about Josh Austin being the first overall pick. His stat line from yesterday. Where did his stat? Okay, 4 catches, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns, 8 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks. Incredible. So, I mean, he proved why he was the number 1 overall pick. And then Gage Holman.
And he caught the game-winning touchdown.
Gage Holman, though.
He wasn't as loud as he usually was, though, because he
had a pick six.
He had a pick six in the second half, but first half he was completely quiet.
Yeah, you had guys like Jamari Teague show up.
Jonah Rorty
running the ball. Jonah Rorty did a good job. So, all in all, I think everyone had a stat on the I think everyone had a stat on the stat line. Mm-hmm. Everyone showed up. Everyone at least one play. Even Tristan Davidson from Tennessee School for the Deaf, 3 tackles on the day.
That's a good line
Dedrick
work.
McClain had a sack, 5 tackles, and 4 tackles for loss. Riley Hall had, where's he at? 4 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. So, I mean, all across the board, guys made a play, at least 1, maybe 2, 3 plays. This was one of the more talented all-star games we've had in terms of potential talent, but also guys who have been – I mean, Josh Austin, this was his 4th and final all-star game. It's going to be weird not having him next year. Gage Holman, this was his 3rd all-star game.
Wasn't he the first freshman that got drafted to the all-star game? Yeah,
he was the first freshman to come to the all-star game. So first four-time participant in the all-star game.
Yeah, it was incredible.
So it's he's one of those guys that you kind of look at in terms of the history of MTAC and 8-man football in Tennessee, and but and you remember him. But I mean, the guys across the board, so many young guys like Cam Robinson. Josh Salstron, Aiden Hooper, Samuel Hubbard, just a lot of young guys who showed their potential and showed what they can do. And so in the coming years, there's so much talent to be had.
It was incredible to witness, and I saw a comment recently about someone said that the Franklin guys dominated the All-Star game. Said Franklin Christian, Franklin Classical. They had some good
County
moments.
Boys.
Yeah, they said that both of that both schools of Franklin really showed up in the All-Star game. And I mean, part of that is true, not just from Josh Austin getting the game-winning touchdown and such, but guys like Asa Sheets, Andrew Hasley showed up a decent amount. Some other guys. Noah Shoa. How about Noah Shoa? He had some decent line work during the game too.
It was good. He was like I said, we had talent across the board in that game. Everyone did something, and it was really cool to see. It was great to see the guys interact. Like I said, we had a great group of guys. Not a whole lot of issues. Everybody really got along. No in-game player issues. There's been years that we've had guys who really didn't like each other, and they just had to get over that with that first day. But come that second day, everybody's clicking on the same page. Everybody's having fun. And the day of the All-Star game, everything's up and running. But a huge shout-out to NHSA and Fort Bluff Camp, Dave Secura, their whole staff, just rolling out the red carpet. I love going up there.
The golf cart we rented, they gave it to us without any gas. And at first, the rental place, they told us, "Oh, it's just the needle. It's something wrong with it." You opened the seat and looked. It's like there's nothing wrong with the needle. It
was
didn't have
like
any
at
gas.
a quarter. So camp goes, yeah, we got gas. You guys can get some gas from us, and there you go. So just a great situation, and man, it's always great to go up there.
And how about the actual final score of the game, 22-19? Now, the record is at 2-2. Home team has 2 wins. The away team has 2 wins. Because last year,
home team won 3 games.
Wasn't it home? I thought.
No, home team won the first game.
They won the first game.
They won the first game.
Home team won the second game, 2017.
Won the second game.
And then
away team won last year. And then home team. No, away team did win this year. It's 2-2. You're right.
It's tied 2-2. So it's now the home.
I thought it was 3-1 because home team was in the lead for so long, and then away team just came roaring back.
No, that's what changed about it. That's really what changed about it in that. But I mean, 22-19. It was a 19-6 game. Team Stensby had the lead, but give it to Team Dotterer for coming back from a. Let's see if I do the math correctly. A 16-point deficit. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
It was a great comeback. Great comeback. Great resilience shown by the guys that Coach Adams organized.
Yeah, so, Coach Adams and Coach Dotterer are both
again,
guys.
Big thank you to Coach Adams, Coach Hollis, Jackson Dotterer, Dustin Stensby for coming up, working with these guys. Yep. Big thank you to the parents for letting the guys come up. And big thank you to the guys who put stuff on the back burner. Some of the guys played basketball. I mean, we had a basketball tournament Friday night for Taco Bell.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Thursday night the guys played basketball. So a lot of guys put a lot of things on the back burner to celebrate the end of the season, and that means a lot. So
yeah, it was incredible. Not only that, but this was the first year we had athletes from Lighthouse Christian School and Tennessee School for the Deaf.
Right, and that was cool. It was cool when you get 28 athletes from 10 different teams to participate in the game. It's a cool look.
So obviously, other than Ezel Harding, have we had every 8-man football school since we've started this participate in the All-Star game?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think if there's one we haven't had. I know we've had Bowling Green, Madisonville, Sacred Heart,
Pleasant
View, Hendersonville, CCS, South Haven, Heat, Tennessee School for the Deaf, Lighthouse, Franklin Christian, Classical.
And you said we had Webb, right?
Webb, Swanee, Riverside.
And Lancaster last year.
Lancaster. And I think that's it.
So it's only Ezel, and that's because they're here.
Yeah.
That's because they're here.
Speaking of here, after a 7-hour drive yesterday.
Oh, that was brutal. I was the only one driving, too. It was brutal.
Listen,
that's out of choice, though.
Yeah.
Well, more so out of choice of it's a business car that can only
shout
be
out to Mr. Robert Thompson and GracePointe Healthcare.
Yeah, letting us take the wrapped Cadillac.
Made travel a lot easier.
Oh yeah, it was great.
A lot easier.
It's fantastic, and now we're here, and we took travel earlier today. Went to visit some family friends.
Yep.
Great, all that, and now we're on the verge of Evangel. Well, we'll get into the later games. But we're on the verge of Evangel potentially getting back-to-back national champion.
Well, it's time to get down to business. I mean, the whole reason we're down here are these games happening yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
But before we get there, let's do a quick recap of the games from yesterday. The first game, of course, Ezel Harding Christian taking on the Freedom Cowboys. Ezel Harding with a 72-28 win. Ezel Harding with a lot of speed.
Make that now 5-2 for Freedom against MTAC teams.
Right.
And there are only 2 losses being down to Riverside and Ezel Harding. But I mean, of course, for the Freedom Cowboys, I mean, to put 28 points against Ezel Harding, what Ezel was able to do against Evangel earlier in the season, and factoring all that in, it's pretty incredible.
Well, and those 14 of those points came in the first half, but at halftime it was 59-14, and Ezel Harding just so much depth, so much speed, able to take off and dominate the ball game, and just a huge win for the Eagles. And for the Cowboys, a lot of talent on that side of the ball, and even coming to a tournament like this and losing in a game like that, you still lost, A, to one of the best teams in the South.
Yep.
B, you lost to a team playing for the for the national championship. So
Exactly.
there's zero to be ashamed of.
Oh,
Nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever. The second game, you had Southern Prep.
A lot lower
Southern
scoring game.
Preparatory Academy. They used to be Lyman Ward Military Academy out of Alabama. Taking on the Pack Panthers from Columbia, South Carolina. 26-6, big win for the Fighting Rangers is their name.
Yep.
First playoff win ever. Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
big for those guys, those cadets.
Now, of course, important thing to note is that Birchman's Academy was originally scheduled to go here to the tournament, and they ended up backing out last second. So it ended up being 5 teams. So the way it was structured was first game between Freedom and Ezel Harding. Whoever won that game was heading to the championship because they're seeding, and then that game between Southern Prep and the Pack Panthers, it was the loser plays tomorrow. And the winner went on to play Evangel, and whoever won that game would go to the national championship.
Right. So in the second and the third game, because Southern Prep beat Pack, you had Evangel taking on Southern Prep, a couple Alabama programs. Evangel with a big 36-0 win over Southern Prep. And so obviously
it was only 28-6 at halftime too,
right.
so it was very well in grasp.
No, it was 28-0.
Yeah, it was 28-0 at
halftime.
So at least for Southern Prep, they had a chance to try and make it back and get some scores there. So I think to only hold Evangel to just a touchdown in that game, touchdown and 2-point conversion in the second half. That's something to be said.
Oh yeah. So by default of that, the way tomorrow's games are going to set up is at 11 o'clock, the Pack Panthers are going to take on the Freedom Cowboys. So a couple homeschool programs going at it, Panthers, Cowboys. And then at 1 o'clock, now that's a 30-minute game, 2 15-minute quarters, halves, if you will. And then at 1 o'clock, Southern Prep will take on the winner of that game, of that Pack Panther Freedom Cowboys game.
And that's for the Division II
That's for Division II championship, right. And then at 3:30, now originally it was at 3, they moved the time back a little bit. So at 3:30 will be the Division I, the national championship game, the big game. Evangel, Ezel Harding, big rematch.
Oh,
of course, they played earlier in the year.
82
and ever
to
since
55 on that.
Right, and ever since Ezel Harding came to 8-man, they said, look, we want to play the biggest and the best. We want the, to quote the kids, we want the smoke. We want the challenge. And that's what they've gone after. That's what they've gone after all year. And time after time again, going through the season unbeaten in MTAC, winning the state championship. They have come in and really paved a road that, a lot of teams, we talked about this last week, but a lot of teams in Tennessee need to look at it. A lot of schools, a lot of private Christian schools in Tennessee need to look at the path that Ezel Harding has taken to where, this was, I think successful is an understatement.
Oh, yeah.
For this season that Ezel Harding's
winning the
had.
state championship in your first year and then having the chance to bring back a national title just for dropping 2 linemen and a wideout.
In a blowout.
Especially
winning
in
the
a
championship
blowout,
in a blowout and going unbeaten. And the only game you lost was because you drove 3 hours to go play the defending national champion.
And you drove 3 hours in the same day and had the travel fatigue to factor in.
Right, exactly. It wasn't like they traveled the night before and rested up and then play. Yeah, so they went after the big dogs, and it didn't go the greatest for them. Mm-hmm. But they're back, and they have another shot at those big dogs. They have another shot at the defending champions. And in terms of the defending champions, just so much talent across the board.
So much
guys
depth, too.
Everywhere.
I believe a 37-man roster or 39-man roster. It's incredible because they also play 11-man. That's where their only 2 losses are. That was the question some people had with the NHSA rankings. Why is a 2-loss team on number 1? It's because those 2 losses were in 11-man. They're completely unbeaten in 8-man.
Yeah, it's insane for people to be like, well, why is a 2-loss team in the top? Well, because they haven't lost any 8-man games.
Exactly. And most of their games have been by a huge margin.
Right, exactly. Do what?
Say it again.
Oh, yeah. The conference in Alabama that a lot of the private 11-man schools play in, the AISA, lot of talent in those programs. And, just like Ezel Harding with 8-man, Evangel went after the best.
Yep.
They said, we want a massive challenge, and they got that challenge. And sometimes it worked out for them, sometimes it didn't. But the point is that they went after that, and that has to be recognized.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, it's completely incredible, and they have the chance to bring back 2 trophies in 1 year. It's absolutely.
Well, so does Ezel Harding, though.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, Evangel has a chance to be back-to-back national champions, and both teams.
Well, I thought you were talking about this year because they both won state championships.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, and if you look at it, those 2 are state championship champions. The Pac Panthers won their state championship in South Carolina. Freedom is independent, but they won the Independence Bowl. And then you have Southern Prep, who was independent and finished up the season strong. So, I mean, these are 5 top teams. And if Birchman's had gotten a chance to come, they were their state champions. Well, they were the state champions there, and they hadn't lost in 3 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a lot of talent.
How many years has it been since Evangel lost their state championship? It's been a while.
A long time.
Yeah, because it's been the same teams in the conference.
Long time.
Yeah, Evangel is just a powerhouse.
Maybe. See, I'm about to pull it up right now because now you've got me wondering. Now I want to know.
Find that stat. You see, those who can't see, obviously, because of it being a radio broadcast, in front of me, James, we've got our laptops up. He's got a Red Bull on his left and a water on his right.
Hey, that's how you do it.
He's trying to keep the energy in, but then flush it right back out.
They beat easy. No, it's called I'm trying to get the energy and then flush all the bad stuff out. Okay, so the last time they lost was to Central Christian in 2014. Central Christian Crusaders, who were actually out of Georgia. In that they were in that ACSE conference, and that conference has kind of gone down a little bit.
5 straight state championships for Evangel. Absolutely incredible.
No, I think it was 2015. No, it might have been 14. Yeah, I'd have to look at it. I'll just click on it right there.
See if we can find that statistic on there. But in any case, either 4 or 5 straight state championships. Like the dynasty is probably the best way you can describe it, especially because of Evangel going to the national championship several years in a row. It's absolutely.
By the way, they've got 37 on their roster.
37. Yeah, and
Mr. St. Dennis sitting here in the auditorium. You are right. They beat the Memphis Nighthawks here for the national championship.
And that was 2015? 14, okay. Yep.
They beat so Evangel lost to the eventual national champions.
Yep.
So there is 0 to be ashamed of in that situation.
Exactly. I mean, 0 to be ashamed of for Evangel because they've won 5 straight state championships. And they've won
there's a lot of trophies and a lot of rings.
What is it, 2 or 3 national championships in the last 5 years, probably for Evangel? 2 or 3?
National? Like I think it's just the one last
year.
Just
the one from last year?
Yeah, because
they've gone every tournament.
14 was Central.
Yep.
15 was Life Academy out of Bakersfield, California, because they beat South Haven, who was having an unbeaten year. 16 wasn't Sacred Heart, was it? Yeah, it was Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
16 was Sacred Heart of Jesus. 17 was Christian Community, and then last year was Evangel. So, I mean, the way that it's been I don't want to say shaken up, but
it's been palatable.
There's been a lot of champions that come through, a lot of really good teams.
Yep.
So Evangel just keeping that streak going and winning it, but like I said, I mean, the situation was it was the best you could do.
Well, yeah, out of 5 teams, of course, credit to Hank St. Dennis on that for making sure that all 5 teams were able to play.
Now the question is, and I think
you can see him nodding his head next to us. He knows the amount of stress he had to go through.
The question is, has there ever been a national championship game where the 2 teams played each other earlier in the year? And I don't think so.
Because Christian Community didn't play.
They didn't play Evangel last year. In 17, CCS and Russell didn't play the regular season. 15, I know Sacred Heart didn't play
16,
Life Academy.
Did Sacred Heart play?
No, because not Life Academy out of California. 15, I know South Haven didn't play.
Yeah.
14, I know Central and Memphis didn't play.
So probably not.
So
it might be.
And I would say that
who won it in 13?
So, yeah, look up the stats. Yeah, I was about to say.
We're doing. By the way, Evangel has 37 on the roster.
Yeah, exactly. You already said that earlier.
You got it in the archives. We got the archives going.
Well, we'll get the statistics up.
Bakersfield won it in 13, and I know they didn't play whoever.
Yeah.
Memphis and.
Memphis made it 2 years in a row, but
Uh-huh.
They didn't play them either way.
Okay.
So they had played each other before, but not in the regular season. So this is the first national championship ever
where
the two teams
it's a
actually played
rematch.
each other in the earlier in the season.
Yep.
And then played each other in the championship. Now, part of that's because one of the teams playing for the championship isn't from California.
Yeah.
But
Right.
regardless, this is,
It's still shaping up to be a great matchup.
Well, and this is the 6th year of doing it. So
The
I mean,
NHSA, yeah.
the build-up is just insane.
Oh, yeah.
It's like what Willy Wonka said. The tension, the what does he say? The tension is terrible. I hope it lasts. The suspense is terrible. I hope it lasts. Ninth year of
Ninth
it. Yeah,
year of
yeah.
doing this.
So
It's been
I mean,
special.
every year it just keeps upping the ante.
Yeah.
Every year.
It's been completely special. So, James, we talked about this before the show, and I think it was a game time decision if you were going to do actual predictions or not.
Well, before we get there, let's
Anything
talk about the games happening tomorrow.
We just did.
Well, we talked about who's playing, but we didn't talk about the two teams. I
That's
want to
fair.
give
Fair.
exposure to
So,
these teams.
we'll start out with the Pack Panthers and Freedom Cowboys. Obviously, Freedom took the loss to
Everybody knows
Esau
about
Harding.
Freedom, yeah.
And then, of course, the Pack Panthers, they lost to Evangel. We got the win against Southern Prep. So and whoever wins that game goes to the Division II championship. And between those two teams, obviously, every team gets guaranteed 2 games. You'd rather be in a situation to play for a championship. You'd rather be in something like that. But at the end of the day, it's looking like it's going to be a fantastic matchup, whichever one gets to the Division II championship against Southern Prep. But between Freedom and Pack Panthers, it's going to be a tough decision. You have to make the call.
Well, and Freedom's played 7. They played 7 games against teams that we cover, so we know a whole lot about. We broadcasted a Freedom game.
Yep.
You've got Jaden Hermine at running back, Jeremiah Seuss at defensive end, David Kinney at quarterback. Those are a lot of the cornerstones of that team. Those guys are solid. Not a lot of people, especially maybe our listening audience, know about the Pack Panthers out of South Carolina. They're actually called Providence Athletic Club, I think it is. So their quarterback is a kid named, let me get the first name. Hang on. It is Harrison. I think it's Adam Harrison.
Yep.
All right, so on the year, 39 of 59, 627 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They run the ball a lot. When I say a lot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 guys have put the ball in the end zone this year. 44 rushing touchdowns. They are a running team. They are a ground and pound, and you can see it in the scores. I mean, they only beat Freedom. They only put up, 20, 30 points on Freedom, and then, the game against Evangel was low scoring. So they're not going to be your flashy, throw it, sling it all over the yard kind of team. They're a very grounded and pound attack, which isn't bad. That's what Freedom relies on. And that's why I like this matchup. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch because this is 2 teams. It'll be a very quick game, especially with it being a shortened game. I mean, this game might take legitimately 30 minutes. Like maybe 40 with timeouts.
Hank's shaking his head.
He's
No,
saying
let's say
no.
let's hope.
He's saying
It's
no.
The hope for the organization-wise, let's hope it doesn't go. But I mean, that's what you always want in a national championship, though, is a good contest. That's
So
a big
some
thing
of their
right? It's
defensive
fun.
leaders, Humans has 66 tackles, 11 tackles for loss. Stone has 64 tackles, 10 tackles for loss. There was one other guy on here that really stuck out. Irie had 79 tackles for 8 tackles for loss, and Mann has 59 with 13.5 tackles for loss. In terms of sacks, Humans has 4.5, Stone has 6, Hux has 5, and Mann has 12.5 tackles, 12.5 sacks rather. Interceptions, Human has 9 picks on the year.
Cool.
So a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball for Providence. Unfortunately, though, in terms of the sacks and interceptions, Freedom doesn't have that type of offense. So the tackle numbers in this game are going to be insane. So we know about Pack. What were they? 11-2 on the year. Talked about Freedom, ground and pound. I think what was Freedom's record? Freedom was.
Let's see.
8-3 on the year. Okay, so 8-4, right? 8-3 coming in.
Yep.
So 2 teams that really went back and forth. Well, we'll say 8-4 because 11-2 is factoring in the loss to Southern Prep yesterday for Pack. So 11-2, 8-4, close game. 2 teams that are a lot alike, very mirror images of each other. It'll be a good one. Why are you looking at me like that?
You got a prediction?
You want me to make a prediction?
I'm asking if you're going to do it.
Nobody wants me to make any more predictions. Look, I picked 60 games this year.
But the people tune in for you. That's what we've established. They tune in for you.
Try not to ruin relationships here. But the Pack Panthers are going to win.
All right. He's saying Pack Panthers advance to face off against Southern Prep. Now, it's tough to predict, except unless you're going off of Pack and Southern Prep, which I guess we will. But those two matching up for the Division II championship right after that game at 1 o'clock. So looking at both of their stats, what you got for that?
Well, you look at Southern Prep, like I said, formerly Lyman Ward Military Academy, Fighting Rangers. That might be like one of the best team names I've ever heard. Of course, the military academies, they have all cadets. Wallace is their leader, 48 of 112, 900 passing yards, 12 touchdowns, 6 picks. You look at the rushing attack, though, and their number one guy is going to be a guy named, I want to get his first name because I want to get it right. It is going to be, where's it at? Maybe I don't. Okay, his nickname's Yogi. Mm-hmm. Okay, Yogi. I'm going to give this a shot. Aqueous. I think it's Aqueous.
Aqueous? Maybe.
Well, it's Aqua plus IOUS. So Aqueous, I think.
Might be.
We'll just say Yogi. All right? Much easier. So, Yogi Barker, 1,100 rushing yards on the year, 10 touchdowns. Yeah, Yogi's a lot easier. We're just going to stick with that. Tomorrow on the broadcast, it's Yogi. All right? Cool. Leading tackler, you got Dowdle at 50 tackles, 8 tackles for loss. That's really their top guy in terms of tackles. Sacks, I think you got a couple guys with 2 or 3 interceptions. Leader is Dowdle with 4. So another team with a lot of ground and pound, a lot of just get it done on the ground. And you see that with your military academies, your teams that don't have the big, steady linemen who can, protect your quarterback so you can sling it down the field. Mm-hmm. So 3 teams a lot alike. So I've got Pack Panthers beating the Freedom Cowboys, and guess what? I got the Pack Panthers beating Southern Prep Academy as well.
And taking the
Pack
Division
Panthers
II
going to take the
championship.
Division II championship.
Is there a trophy for the Division II championship?
Why would you win a championship without a trophy?
That is fair.
All right, I know it's fair.
But the Division II championship, according to James, is going to go with the Pack Panthers. And now we don't have a visual aid here for Extreme Radio. We were thinking about it. But we have to our left here, we have several studio.
It is kind of a visual aid.
We have several big people in studio, technically in studio here. Come on! We got some good people in it. So we've got at the edge of the table, we've got a cap for the Evangel Christian School Lightning, and you said it was whoever
I'm
got
all thirsty before doing this.
Should have gotten 4. But is your Red Bull can out?
Yeah, it's empty. I got all hyped to make this pick, and then I got dehydrated, so I drank my water.
We've got a cap for the Evangel Christian School Lightning and the Ezel Harding Christian School Eagles at the edge. And I would recommend taking off that cap now unless you're going to do a double cap scenario.
Yeah, that's true. Hang on.
But you have to get that cap taken off.
Take off my dude hat.
What James is going to do, what you could do
Not for Dude Perfect.
what you could actually do is you could turn on that wireless mic and just hold that and as you're putting on the cap if you wanted to. Something you could do.
I gotta preview the game first.
All right, sure.
Let me preview the game.
So, rematch.
Don't rush me. I'm already trying to drag this out a little bit.
We had the pleasure of calling that game in, I believe, week 8 of the regular season, and 82-55. It lived up to the hype. It was well worth the drive.
I hope some Evangel people would show up.
Yeah, I haven't seen any. Maybe. Why were you hoping Evangel people show up, James?
You'll find out.
Oh, well, he's already given a hint to that, of course.
Oh, did I really?
Yeah, exactly. You did. 82-55 was the score of that game down in Alabama, and of course there were a lot of factors that went into that. Ezel Harding had to travel the same day instead of what they have here with the Florida tournament and coming in on, I believe, Wednesday, and then staying several days before that. And now on the chance of playing for a national championship, there's a trophy at the end of the finish line. It's a lot more higher stakes, and it was a close game. I think the mercy rule was maybe running for a minute or 2 minutes in that game, but then the Eagles fought back.
Yeah,
I think
it went on and off.
Went on and off throughout the entire night. So the Eagles have fight in them, and there's a big difference between the team then and now. It's that they've gotten more reps and they've had a chance to collide against with them.
I would say the biggest thing is they went into that game really not being tested and not knowing.
Yeah.
New to 8-man.
I think Riverside Christian gave them a little bit of a test there early on, tied at 30, but then they were able to pull away. Yeah,
Not seeing
yeah.
the kind of offense that, an aerial show with.
You sure you don't want a headset?
I got an extra.
We got an extra mic as well, but
Well, 'cause I would tend to butt in a little.
hey, that's fine. I mean, Isaiah's not here. We got to have that third guy to
Listen,
give him
I cut him off all the time.
He does.
It's easy to do.
Oh, yeah, hey. Wow, sheesh. But for a national championship between these two teams, the stakes are higher. A lot has changed since then. Both of them are coming fresh off of their state championships and fresh off of wins on Saturday in this tournament. And, again, the stakes on the line, a national championship. James, you've got a cap to choose. You've got a preview to give. What statistics have led you to who
Can I just write a preview?
You probably should. You probably should.
All right.
sure
So
we
everyone knows about Ezel Harding. Derek Griffin is what all the awards did he win?
He
was
MVP, I believe.
MVP
He was
of the
all
championship. I think he was all conference on the tournament team. So there's 3 right there. Incredible and open field. Just every time he gets just a little sliver, bam, he's gone.
It was all conference, and he was the MVP. He was the championship MVP.
Teams have not been able to pay the price. Kadarius Price has been insane all year.
He was an all-tournament team member as well.
And then just the depth they have at receiver: Cam Hunt, Jamari Lindell, Kadarius Price when he catches the ball, Braxton Coleman.
Did you mention Cam Hunt?
Yeah, I just said Cam Hunt.
I'm making sure. Making sure you're getting all the good guys.
I know, I got all the good guys. Anyways, so and then you look at the line: Alex Valbuena, Reed Steinley, Andrew Webster's at receiver.
Oh yeah.
But there's another Andrew on the line. Anyways, they've got a good line. Mm-hmm. They have one of the best lines in Tennessee in terms of defensive and offensive line. So everyone knows about Ezel Harding. You look at Evangel. So for people in Tennessee that might not know a whole lot about Evangel, I know we talked about them prior to that matchup. So Tyler Henderson has a 67% completion percentage after throwing attempting 172 passes. Over 2,000 yards on the season, 2,100 yards, 2180. You look at the rushing game, and it's spread out. But Noah Shears, I believe he was their tournament
MVP. He was the MVP of the national championship last year.
And a conference, yeah. And I'm talking about this year when they won the state championship. They had their all conference team. I think he was on the all conference team.
He's a huge contributor for the Lightning.
550 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns. You look at the receiving, and, of course, when you have a quarterback throwing for 2,000 yards, you got some dudes with some numbers.
Oh, yeah.
So Jet Lodge, one of their better receivers, he's only a junior, too. He missed part of the year, but he's back over 1,000 receiving yards, 20 touchdowns. Will Farrell, go ahead and get it over with. Will Farrell, 670 receiving yards, 9 touchdowns. So he's got some targets that he likes to find. Talking about Henderson. Their line is solid. You've got guys, Jeffers, the senior, has 37 pancake blocks. So, this Ezel Harding line is going to have to keep an eye out for that. Parker has got 14. Rickles has got 24. Warren's got 13. So this offensive line, when it comes to protecting Henderson, they don't play around. They do not mess around. And so that's something that, Ezel Harding is going to have to adjust to.
It's what you praised about all year was that Ezel Harding had the best offensive defensive line in the league.
Well, and it comes down to coaching, too.
Exactly.
A lot of coaching went into developing that line into one of the best. And so when they see numbers like this and stats like this, situations, they, and I'm sure they got a chance to watch that game. So they got a chance to see that line in first person, even after playing them early in the year. They got to see what the team has turned into, and got to see that and prepare for that. And I think that's going to play into it a lot. You've got guys with 47 tackles, 61 tackles for Parker, 62 for Quillman. Get some sack numbers here. I know they've got them. 12 sacks for Parker, 5 for Quillman. So those are some of their better defensive linemen. In terms of interceptions, I think you're just going to see a bunch of ones. Yeah, a bunch of guys picking the ball off, maybe getting one here, one there. So across the board, offense is the big story. Ezel Harding hung 55 up on them earlier this year. Usually 50-plus is enough to win a ball game in Tennessee. They hung up 50-plus, and that still wasn't enough to be Evangel. But that was earlier in the year. Both of these teams have changed a lot. They've both won a state championship. They've both been through more battles. And so it's going to be a great game to see tomorrow. 3:30 kickoff. We'll have it right here on our YouTube channel.
Fantastic. All right, James, it's time to choose the cap.
You're going to stick with that.
It's time to choose the cap.
You're going to stick with that. All right, listen. An old coach once told me it's hard to beat a team twice. Now, Ezel Harding did it to Christian Community earlier this year. It's hard to beat a team twice. Ezel Harding doesn't have to drive 3 hours tomorrow to play this game.
They've had rest and they've gotten used to the climate.
They also played first on Monday.
Yep.
So Evangels had a chance to rest up. Okay.
You mean on Saturday?
On Saturday. You know what I meant. Yesterday. That was Saturday.
You said Monday.
You know what I meant. So. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Ezel had a chance to rest up.
So
Evangel played, so they've had, even if it's just a couple hours, they've had more rest. So, it's hard to beat a team twice. They don't have to travel. Neutral field. I've always been called a homer. I've always embraced the homer. I've always accepted it. I picked CCS for the championship. They're saying don't do it in the audience. They're saying don't do it. I've always been the one.
I have a feeling we're not going to be welcome back to Ezel
Hang on.
Harding.
I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch to the handheld.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch to the handheld. Okay.
All right. Now these people can actually hear you in stadium.
Come ahead.
There you go.
All right. So it's hard to beat a team twice. Ezel Harding got to rest up. Neutral field. They got beat earlier in the year. Okay. Here's the kicker. There has never been a 2-time national champion back-to-back. Not even NHSA in Dayton, okay? Never.
Where's the other handheld, Mike? I
one.
might as well join you.
Get it.
I'm asking where it is.
Hang on. You get that one while I make sure the size fits. Hang on. That's not my official pick. I'm making sure the size fits, okay?
One of them actually stretches.
I want it to look good, whichever one, okay?
One of them actually.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Whoa, there's some feedback on that one.
Probably. I'll see if I can get it adjusted, but nope. Maybe yours did. Here.
Give me the one that works. Turn the sound up a little bit. There we go. It might have been because I was covering the receiver too. All right, so all that being said, bring on the hate. Because guess what? This year, where'd it go? There it is.
They were on separate.
Bring on the
teams,
hate, because for the first time ever, we're going to have back-to-back national champions.
Ezel fans cheering for you.
Boom.
No, those are the Ezel fans cheering
This
for
hat
you.
feels, hey, can I keep this hat? This is a nice hat. I collect hats. That's a nice hat right
in
there.
here. That's not up to
Woo! Get that lightning logo. I was kind of hoping that we could draw it out so that the Evangel people were here. Hopefully they go back and listen.
Yeah.
And I know there's video of this, so I know there's video proof. But anyway, so
For those who Ezel
is there
people.
lightning on the back? Here you go.
You've chosen against them all year, I'm pretty sure. Other than regular
Who's
season.
that? Ezel? Ezel Harding? No, I had them picked early. Hold up.
Yeah,
Hang
according to the audience, it's 4 in a row. Yeah, of course not. No counts.
Not counting. Hang on. Let me pull it up.
You picked against them in the championship. Picked against them against Riverside.
Where's my 2019 predictions?
And Lancaster, you picked against them.
Okay. Hold up.
Who do you guys play before Lancaster?
So this is the fourth time. This is the fourth time I picked them to lose against Evangel Christian. Guess what? Evangel beat them. I picked them to lose to Lancaster Christian. They beat Lancaster. Okay, cool.
Swanee, I think you chose.
No, I beat them to pick Swanee. I got the written proof right here. I picked them to beat Swanee, Lighthouse, Christian Community, Franklin Christian, Franklin Classical, Riverside, and the Tennessee Heat. And I also only picked 14 games incorrect.
You have chosen against them, and
That's fine.
so you're basically trying to guarantee. That's why they're cheering.
That's fine.
That's why they're excited.
There you go. Everybody wanted it. I caved in. There you go.
Everyone wanted you to not be a homer, basically.
No, everyone wanted to hear a pick.
No, all the people. They just wanted you to hear you pick against them.
Here's the good thing, though. Here's the only good thing about this pick, okay?
Yep.
Oh, my bad. Here's the only good thing about this, okay? So I have missed on 14 out of 60 games. So it's is it 14 out of 60? I think it's 14 out of 60.
Something like that, yeah.
Or 14 out of 59 maybe. So this one game is going to tip it either way. Put it at an even 60. There's been 60 games this year. Whew. All right. So this will tip it either way. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Regardless,
here's
it's
the
going to
thing.
be a great
It's gonna be a great game.
championship. It's going to be a
gonna be a barn
high-scoring
burner.
game. I predict this. I will predict this. It's going to be a high-scoring game. 82-55 the first score. It's going to be high-scoring tomorrow.
Do you wanna pick a score?
No.
Come on, it's the last game. Who wants to hear Spencer make a prediction? He hasn't predicted a game all year.
I won't do a specific score, but I will say.
Do you want to do a wager? Because you don't bet. You want to do a wager?
No, I won't.
Come on, pick Easel Harding.
No,
Let's put something
I'm
on
not
it.
going to pick a team. What I will say is that it's going to be combined for 150 points or more. It's going to be the highest combined score we've ever broadcast.
How about this?
I'm not wagering.
Winner gets to suplex the other one into the ocean.
No.
Dadgummit.
Neither of us can swim. Why are you making
I
that
could
gamble?
swim just fine. Well, I float, but
Gosh. Oh.
there's only one reason I float. But you know,
National championships tomorrow. Of course, we got 2 games before that. The essentially the semifinal for the Division II bracket, then the Division II championship tomorrow, and the national championship for the NHSA. Doing all of those starts at 11 o'clock, 1, and then 3:30.
now this is the season finale.
Yep.
Okay, we're not going to do another show next week.
Nope.
So there's something that we need to do. Okay, we've done a lot of traveling this year.
Oh yeah.
2 games in Alabama. Well, one of them didn't get broadcast because I forgot the laptop, but traveled to Alabama twice. Trip to Knoxville. Trip all over Middle Tennessee. Crazy travel. It's been insane.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that make that happen, though.
Oh yeah.
People that make that happen. Spencer,
Oh yeah.
Tell us about those people.
Before we get into the sponsors, of course, I did this
Turn your
last.
mic up real quick.
Before we get into the
No, no,
sponsors,
no,
of
no, no,
course, you talking about
the
this?
earpiece.
Oh, closer.
No,
okay.
no. Like, look, it's like this. Do this.
Really?
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
Sounds a little bit better, I guess.
It does sound better. I know it sounds better.
I did this last year, of course. We do have to thank a
I need a
bunch
waterfall
of
that water.
people, but here, go ahead.
Oh, thanks.
Keep cutting me off, man.
Fine. Talk about it.
First things first, of course, we have to thank James Shannon. You know, the man, the myth, the legend. Who I did this last year. You're looking shocked.
No, don't.
You started 8-Man Extreme. You've given every one of these football players an outlet, a media outlet, an opportunity to be exposed and to actually give more awareness to them. So, of course, special thanks to you for starting this and making it what it is today. I mean, we're in Panama City right now. I was telling. We were close to the beach last night because shout out, of course, to your wife Monica for putting up with you this season.
All year.
Yeah, of course, her and her sister.
I hadn't
Miranda
been
down.
full time in like 4 years, and when she found out I had to go full time, she was like, "Well,
Yeah, it was
all
incredible.
right, got to do it."
But we were on the beach last night, and we were just looking up at the skyline. James Shannon for starting 8-Man Extreme. And I know you don't like it because it's not about you, but of
It's
course,
not about
man,
me.
it's not about you, and it's about the players. But everyone thanks you for making it about them and not yourself. So special thanks to you.
All right, I'll take that.
Of course. Special thanks to Monica as well, because again, preseason we were, Isaiah Austin chose to go back to coaching, doing something that he loves instead of being consistently on the broadcasts, and wished him all the best. Of course, he did come back for the playoffs, but when you had to tell Monica that it was a tough season, because I mean she came along for some games, and I've heard some of those arguments, man. And some of them were justified. But of course, special thanks to Monica for not just putting up with you showing up, but all hours of the night late, of course, but being supportive and such and helping
I don't think
out.
there was one week I got home before like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Fayetteville? Oh, before 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, before 1 o'clock.
Franklin, you probably after you come after the
No.
Franklin. Oh yeah, because you got an hour
Yeah.
back. It may have been the Springfield games.
Springfield, yes.
Yeah, Springfield or
And
CCS.
CCS, because they're like 20 and 10 minutes from my
Yeah,
house.
so
But
near.
other than that, no.
Yeah, but of course, special thanks to Monica for the support and everything she's helped out with, including running gate at All-Star Game, helping make sure the guys are organized and such.
A lot of
and,
behind-the-scenes stuff.
almost wrecking the golf cart several times. But it's special thanks to Monica on that.
Can I tag in and thank some people?
Of course.
Big shout out to Isaiah Austin. I know we just said he wasn't involved throughout their
Not
season.
full-time.
Not full time, but once the postseason rolled around, he threw everything he had into it. Did a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Did the games. Like I said, during the All-Star game, the first day he was there as part of NUSA. Did a great kind of a documentary video.
Yep.
about athletes getting recruited and 8-man football. So go check that out. Link is in our Instagram bio, and I think we tweeted the link out as well. But big shout out to Isaiah handling a lot of that. A lot of the he designed the All-Star Game logo.
Coming on board for the semi playoff of the championship.
So the little bit of time he was on board, he was all in, and he was in.
Yep. Same to Matthew Bowden as well.
Matt Bowden, he took the trip to Alabama, and then helped with the playoff games. So a big thanks to him. Big thanks to J.D. Young, who came on the first of the year, and there's us on air. But the website would not have happened without JD. He's working on merch deals on merch situations right now. He's getting the online store up and running for the All-Star merch. And a lot of the behind the scenes, a lot of the group chat we have, he's in there. So a lot of times he's contributing to that. And that helps, because when you have me and Spencer arguing about something, it helps to have a third person in there to really give his thoughts on that. So
I can't tell you how many stalemates you and I have had, and then JD finally.
And then he's the tiebreaker.
Yep,
so
exactly.
Big shout out to him. So
Better tiebreaker than a coin
Matt,
toss.
I want to give a shout out to the people that sent us scoring updates.
Oh yeah.
Throughout the season, and I think we sent out a list of them. We missed some. If we missed you, I'm sorry.
Verbally, we will say thanks to Jeff Hooper and Brian Sweat for their scoring updates towards the end of the season.
Jason Charlton from Ezel Harding.
He's in the audience right now. Give it up for Charlton, everybody. Give it up for Charlton.
But just so many people sending text updates from games, because we can't be at all the games.
Yep.
And so it was really great to be able to keep up to date with them, keep the Tennessee High School Football app going, and do the live updates from there. So big shout out to all those people. Big shout out to Mr. Jeff Hooper.
Oh yeah,
helping us with the Chick-Fil-A raffle, which
we are going to get that
we
raffle.
We are going to do the raffle. We did not bring the stuff. We did not do it at halftime yesterday. We are going to do the raffle. This is not a what's the word? This is not a
I can't think of the word.
A scam.
Someone's saying scam. Yeah.
It's not a scam. We are
trying to think of a better
raffle.
word for that, but
no, it's not a scam.
Right.
So, big shout out to Mr. Jeff Hooper for making that happen. We got to do the mock draft at Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah.
Just he's really been great all year, and I hope we can develop that relationship, because I love Chick-fil-A. I love food.
I mean, both of us love food.
Chick-fil-A
We're probably going to
has
go to a
great food.
seafood place after this.
Anyway, so.
Image of their game plans and all that. It's special thanks to all of them for being so accommodating. On my side, of course, special thanks, of course, to John Horner of MTAC. I know I've been critical of him. I've been critical of the league this year. All of us have. But, of course, still allowing us to do the championship constellation and still communicating with us, and hopefully a relationship to form for the better going forward. So special thanks to them. You got anything?
I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Ronnie Perkins, who runs the
I was just about to get to him.
All right, well, go ahead. I'm not going to take your shout out.
Yeah, Ronnie Perkins. So it's a funny story. So it started last year when they had that officiating panel where Ronnie Perkins was talking to the coaches and Q&A. He verbally gave out his phone number. I got one number wrong. I sent a text about sending film and didn't hear anything back for 2 weeks. Sent another text and someone said, "This isn't my number. You're talking to the wrong person." So I sent him an email, got his cell, and from there it's been every Tuesday I await a call.
From there, it's the biggest regret he's ever had. No,
bro, he'll be the first to say that. No, but every Tuesday I get a phone call from Ronnie saying, "Spencer, you have film on this game or this," and just calls throughout the week. Just conversation through the breeze. Of course, we've been able to help as officials get better at their craft, and
it's got to be the only league where the media has a great relationship with the officials.
Exactly, it's incredible
because it ain't the NFL.
Yeah, I mean we also had
we're still live.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
We had the pleasure of going to that officiating dinner back in
the
October.
All-Star, not All-Star,
it was the MSOA
Hall of
banquet.
Fame.
Yeah,
Hall of
Fame
banquet.
where they inducted several guys and gave them awards. Such that was really incredible. Just to see more of a human element to the official side and go through that, of course, and got to meet them. So again, thanks to Ronnie Perkins, of course, for all of his communication work and such. We're looking forward to working with him next year.
We give a big shout out to all the parents out there of these athletes that we do this for real. We do this for the athletes. We do this for the parents. We do it for the schools and the coaches.
Yep.
And without, just throughout the year, so many parents reaching out and either criticism or support. comments.
How about all the voting this year?
A lot of voting.
Like last year, I mean, obviously because we got the website.
What was the total votes?
For the All-Star game, it was over.
I think it was over 5,000.
Yeah, it was over 5,000. Not just
insane.
I'm not just talking about the All-Star Player of the Week. All the voting and engagement that came with that, we had record numbers. Obviously, with moving it over to the website, it made it a lot easier. Again, shout out to JD for that. But the voting just significantly improved, and everyone engaging with it and such, and helping to recognize players on a weekly basis for their great performance. It's completely incredible. So yeah, thanks to the parents on that.
Thanks to the kids for the interaction and the participation. If kids acted like they really didn't care, sometimes kids are hard to read even when, they're commenting thumbs down on everything. That deep down they still care.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a little troll job. So you go through and like all the comments. Yeah. But it's all good, all love. We're there for them, and I think the kids know that.
Oh yeah,
I think they know that, and it's just having.
We
good
get that
nature
interaction.
fun.
I'm sure we get that plenty of times after the All-Star game. Some of the seniors about to leave, thanking us.
Very emotional, very emotional.
Emotional for them.
Big shout out to all of them.
So of course,
do you have any more shout outs?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, go ahead.
So
you better not take mine.
Nobody personally, but I was about to get into the sponsors unless you have specific people.
Yes, I want to give a thank you to one more specific person. And he's sitting beside you, Mr. Hank St. Dennis.
Oh, yeah.
It's been fun. I've gotten to communicate with him all year. It's been a blast. Big thank you for him.
He was able to
him.
A big thing as well is that, fortunately, through our broadcast, he's been able to see and help determine rankings. Of course, it's not just him. It's a panel discussion.
So wouldn't that be him thanking us?
But I mean, it's been a mutually good relationship. Of course, we've been helping him with.
He's promoted a lot of our stuff, though,
and
so
he
that's
has
really cool.
exactly.
And then I know we got here 11:30 last night.
Yep,
still up and running, rolling out the red carpet, getting us in a great place to stay.
Yeah.
So a huge thank you, huge thank you for that, and I thank you to him for getting this tournament up and running, giving these kids something to play for. The Freedom and Southern Prep being independent teams.
Oh yeah,
this is the kind of stuff they look forward to all year. Is a chance to go play in these kind of tournaments. So, big shout out for that.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
It means so.
And
you guys have done a great job in promoting eight-man football, not just in Tennessee, but really all around. Because I know
appreciate it.
You guys stay in contact with a lot of the scores from different.
I'll tell you what. I'm
big shout out as well to the Tennessee High School Football app and
Chad
their
Withrow,
website. Chad Withrow posting the several previews, and of course being able to report the scores and get that streamlined and such.
I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to seeing is Ohio now has an 8-man conference. It's called the Northern 8 Football Conference.
Yep, several other schools are starting all that.
So there you go.
So obviously, what we do is not possible without sponsors contributing to our costs.
We
of
have
course.
some great ones.
First things first, GracePointe Healthcare, of course, run by my parents, Rob and Julie Tomset, for allowing us to host a radio show throughout the season there at the clinic, and of course supporting the game broadcast, such letting us take the Cadillac down to several games and transporting it to here to Florida and such. So of course. Especially thank you to them for supporting not just me, but this organization. It's incredible, of course. Jets Pizza of Springfield, Fort Campbell, and Clarksville, of course. Michael Crawley, the owner of those Jets Pizzas, shout out to him for supporting the Allergy Center of Franklin, all the great staff members over there. Of course, Joe Graves with iBuying Insurance. We actually, fortunately, we had a meeting before one of the radio shows with him, and he pitched several ideas to us about great interaction things we can do down the line. And
someone we may use.
Yeah, I'll give a slight preview to it. Probably an electronic business card as well that he's designed and such. We're looking at it, but of course he still contributed a sponsorship to the season. So special thank you to him. Of course to Tag because I know you're going to talk to him.
Hi, big shout out to Mr. Coach Ryan Scott from the Tennessee Heat Athletics that decided to sponsor us this year. Listen, just because we cover football, that doesn't mean that Tennessee Heat only has football. They have a lot of other sports that they give homeschoolers a chance to play sports. And I know that's something that's near and dear to Hank's heart, is giving homeschoolers a chance to play all these different sports, even girls sports, girls basketball, soccer, volleyball, stuff like that. They do that. So that's fantastic. A big thank you to him. Dr. Sterling Foster I
We've
found
had
out
good conversations
firsthand.
with him.
Well, I found out firsthand before the season or during the season how important it is to have a good chiropractor. My wife had some issues. It's important to have a good chiropractor.
Yep.
So big thank you to him. Chuck Miner Homes, Mr. Chuck Miner. Go check him out, chuckminerhomes.com.
Yep.
Just a great guy.
Yeah.
A lot of fun to talk to.
Son
used to play football, came to a couple
former
All-Star games.
Yep.
And it's cool to have parents of even kids who were done playing football that still want to give back to people like us who are just trying to give other kids coverage. So it's really cool to have that interaction. Also, Symmetry Financial Group, Daniel Hoffmeister with the Symmetry Financial Group.
This is one of the guys we every year we do a pitch in July to the Grace.
You do this one because I want the next one.
Grace Business Networking Group, and we just pitch them, tell them what we're doing about our efforts and such, and tell them if you'd like to sponsor, companies that like to sponsor, you can come on. And Daniel Hoffmeister, every week at that networking group, he speaks and gives leadership principles completely free. Even though he mostly works, he's starting to do that with insurance, but he mostly works in divorced men's counseling, and so with leadership principles, he could get paid to do it, but he donates.
I thought I was going to have to need that after this season.
Yeah, but yeah, Daniel, right after we gave that presentation, he immediately wrote a check right there and said, "Here you go, sponsor." So shout out to him, and of course,
International Fire
your
Protection. This is the company that I work for. But when I went to my boss earlier this year, I said, "Hey, this is what I do, and this is the situation. Would you like to help?" He didn't hesitate at all.
Yep.
And so I want to give a big thank you to him and everyone with IFP. A lot of times when I go to games, I end up driving the truck, and so they help with the transportation to the games, to and from the games. So a big let me take the truck to Alabama, and do some travel with it. So big thank you to him in terms of travel and it's an important situation. It's a curse of doing fire alarms for a living. Because I walked in and the first thing I did was look over at the fire alarm system that got in here. Make sure.
Anytime we walk into anywhere for a restaurant after a game, or we'll walk into sometimes we may walk into a gym to watch a basketball game or something. You're looking at the fire alarms or something, and you're immediately telling me, you know what this is, and telling me about this stuff. It's pretty cool.
It's a curse.
That's pretty cool. Grow, Live, Give. You probably don't remember a guy named Daniel Davis who played for Franklin Christian Academy many years ago. Jim Davis gives financial advice with Grow, Live, Give, and I mentioned to him earlier in the year about potentially contributing, and he told me to get back to him, and he ended up contributing, even though all of his kids are graduated from FCA. All of his kids are moved on and such. So he
another
just
parent who still wants to give back.
Yeah, so it's special
That's
thanks
huge.
to Jim Davis for his contribution. Star Physical Therapy, Mitch Schwartz is the marketing director, the guy that had the pleasure of talking to and interacting with. This is one of the things that he really loves supporting. It really just started out as me telling him, what my broadcasting career was going with, and telling him about that stuff. And then I asked him at one point, so if you guys are interested in sponsoring, because I know you do different things. And he said, yeah, this is the amount we can give. That's what they capped me at. And so he's done that for 2 years. And
let me say something about Star as well. From my playing days, I had buddies getting hurt. In doing this, I've heard, obviously several guys getting hurt. And that's one of the first names that comes up in terms of physical therapy and getting guys back to 100% to getting them back on the field. So
not only that, but I mean Isaiah
things.
Austin, when he had his torn labrum and everything, he had surgery. He did Star. He went through them. I'm
it's
sure
good stuff.
If he were on the show,
I think they have like locations everywhere.
Almost everywhere in Tennessee.
There's a lot of locations.
Yeah, almost everywhere in Tennessee. And then of course Kingdom.com. They're the title sponsor for our games. That's run by my aunt and uncle Johnny and Juanita Bergeson. Company based out of Blossburg, Pennsylvania. Mansfield, Pennsylvania, near Blossburg. But they essentially provide our Verizon hotspot for the game broadcasts. So we're able to, even though I could use unlimited data on my phone, it caps at a certain point. But with a hotspot like that, it's that we don't have to worry about the broadcast quality being lower just because of it going through mobile tethering.
Well, we also don't have to go somewhere and wonder about, if they have Ethernet or something like that. We're able to just, be very mobile. And also when we ordered all of our audio equipment, cut us
all of our broadcasting equipment,
all of it comes through them. Seriously,
the majority, almost.
I'm
all
looking here on the table for something that didn't come from them in terms of audio equipment. I'm
No.
not seeing anything.
It's
Even
all
the
for
cords.
Yeah, and all really great prices for it too. All of it has worked very well.
They do
consistently,
video
all that.
stuff, so we
Yep.
might have to check them out for video stuff
Oh,
too.
yeah.
As we start to do different things.
Yeah.
But
So special thanks to them. I believe that's everybody we've gone through on the
think it's
sponsored
everybody.
efforts. And unless you've got anybody
it's a lot
else,
of people that made this happen.
yeah, a lot of people that made this season possible, and it's not officially over yet. That ends tomorrow night after the national
Yep.
championship. We're looking forward to it. But of course, thanks to everybody for making it possible. Again, this is our last show for the year. This will be the last show
Gotta do
as
this
James
big for the last one.
as James is gonna try to double mic it, I guess, or he's going for his handheld. So sometime this week, maybe next week, but sometime this week.
I was going to reiterate my pick for tomorrow because I got some
You got
Evangel
Evangel.
people in here tomorrow. So tomorrow, we're going to have back-to-back national champions.
Congratulations.
There you go.
Congratulations. Yeah, you got Tim Smith smiling down there. He might not be happy about it because because most of the time your predictions.
I can't win.
Yeah, you can't
I
win
pick
in
a
this
team,
scenario.
I pick against the team. They're either going to be mad I didn't pick them.
Exactly.
Or the other team's going to be mad that I picked them.
Exactly.
It's a lose-lose.
So that's going to wrap it up for 8-Man Extreme for 2019. As of tomorrow,
I'm doing my Bobby
it'll be
Roode.
we're doing all 3 of the NHSA games tomorrow. Again, thank you all. We appreciate you listening in. We'll be back in 2020 with the 2020 8-Man football season in August, or probably July, August, something like that.
It'll be
But
July.
It'll be
We'll
July.
go 1st of July for the show.
Again, special thank you to the sponsors of all this season. Of course, today's episode presented by GracePointe Healthcare, Dr. Sterling Foster, Jets Pizza, and IHateBuyingInsurance.com. Again, for Monica Shannon, J.D. Young, Isaiah Austin, James Shannon, Matt Bowden, all of the hardworking men and women that make 8-Man Extreme successful. I'm Spencer Thompson. We will see you in 2020.
See ya!